Today, on my continued I Love Video Games series, I will be talking about another one of my favorite video games of all time, the runnin' and gunnin' Cuphead. So if you're looking for fun and a dash of heebie-jeebies, you've come to the right place. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's the channel intro, that's what it is. Hello everybody and welcome back to JWC Vids. My name is Judah Culp and today I will be talking about my love for Studio MDHR's masterpiece, Cuphead. For those of you who don't know, Cuphead is a 2D platformer released in 2017. What makes it unique, however, is that the graphics of this game are in the style of 1930s cartoons. Studio MDHR, the developers of this game, accomplished this by hand drawing every single thing in that game. Isn't that absurd? Cuphead's gameplay usually revolves around defeating bosses. Sure, there are a few levels, but not many. It's mainly just defeating boss after boss after boss, which is really cool in my opinion. I personally have a lot of fun with it. Enough banter! Today I will be talking about how I met Cuphead, what I love about it, and why I love it. However, before I begin, I would like to ask you guys once again to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future content from me. Guys, I am so close to 200 subs, and 200 subs has been a goal of mine for the past little while. So please, if you really enjoy what you see here and you want to see more, hit the red button, please. Now, are you ready? Let's go. I met Cuphead when I was 12-13, when my brother and his friends played it when it first came out. When they were playing it, I just watched, but watching it sparked an interest in me, and I was like, this game is really cool. As I watched more walkthroughs of the game and learned more about the game, I began to love it even more, and eventually, when I was like 13 or 14, I was a full-on fan. Eventually, I knew every weapon, I knew every boss and what they did. I even had like the whole game memorized, which I guess is kind of an easy feat because Cuphead is a very short game, but still, memorizing a game, that's how much of a fan I was. Now, funny enough, because of the game's difficulty level, and the game was very hard, I wasn't allowed to play the game at the time. Yeah, I was 13 and I wasn't allowed to play the game until I was 14. So, yeah. Interesting, huh? But when I finally did turn 14, I played the game for the first time. And at first, I was a little nervous I wasn't going to be able to beat it because of how hard it was. And technically, even though I knew so much about the game, it could still be very, very hard for sure. But all that fear was completely uncalled for I did beat the game. I committed to it, and even though some bosses took me days to beat, I finished the game. And man, was I happy. And I will say, it feels good to like not be that person who's the expert of the game but can't even beat it. Like, that's just absurd, right? Like, imagine knowing like everything about a game you love but you can't even beat the game. Like, imagine that, right? Yeah? Oh, I'm not implying that like that exists with another game. I promise. Like, I'm just being stupid. Bear with me, please. So when you beat Cuphead, a third, harder difficulty gets unlocked for all the bosses called Expert Mode. So regular mode is usually the difficulty you'd play at to get through the game regularly, but when you beat the game, you can do all the bosses again on a harder difficulty called Expert Mode. This is relevant because after a little while, I revisited the game and beat it again because, well, I wanted to play through the game again. And I decided to beat all of the bosses again on Expert Mode. And I did it. I accomplished it. And even though it was very, very difficult and annoying and rage-inducing, I did it. And I did not give up. I did not give up. Remember, kids, follow your freaking dreams. Do it. I wasn't done yet, though. Oh, no. I was thirsty for more. I was very, very thirsty. Now, when you beat a boss, you get graded on how you did. So depending on how many times you got a hit, depending on how much you did this and that, and how fast you beat the boss, you get a specific grade. The grades are kind of like school grades. If you do really well, you get a high grade like an A- or a B+, maybe even higher than that. But if you don't do as well, you get like a C+ or C-. On expert mode, the highest grade you can get is an S rank, which means you have to pretty much beat the boss perfectly. Getting this perfect score means you have to beat the boss in a specific time and fill out all of the requirements perfectly. But what really makes this incredibly daunting is that you cannot get hit once. I decided to S rank every single boss in the game on expert mode. And if you thought just beating the bosses on expert mode was climbing a mountain, then this was freaking Mount Everest. On top of that, I decided to P rank all of the run and gun levels. The run and gun levels are like the levels of the game. You start at one point and you try to get to point B while avoiding all the obstacles and stuff like that. But to get a P rank on the run and gun levels, you have to get through the level without killing a single enemy. This is very hard to do because of how many enemies there are, and there are some enemies that don't even look like you could even pass them without beating them. So you need to use very specific strategies to get through these levels without killing a single enemy. This goal of S ranking every boss and P ranking every run and gun level was so incredibly difficult. Possibly the hardest thing I have ever done in a video game. You would not imagine the anger and torment that filled my veins during some of the moments of this challenge. But did I do it? Did I accomplish it? Yes, I did. And the feeling of beating it and finally S ranking every boss and P ranking every run and gun, it was so satisfying. I felt like a gamer god. I 100% Cuphead. I had S ranked all the bosses, P ranked all the run and guns, unlocked all the secrets, gotten all the coins, gotten all the weapons that I possibly could have. Literally, I did everything. I did everything in that game, and I believe that is one of the only games I can proudly say that I have 100%. And this still holds true today. For when the DLC came out, which is actually kind of recently, I did the exact same thing. Beat the game normally, beat all the bosses on expert mode, and then S-ranked all the bosses along with getting most of the secrets. I didn't get like the gold chalice skin, I think that's the only thing I didn't do, but literally everything else I did in the DLC. So that is my journey through the game of Cuphead. Now, let me tell you about what I love about the game. Okay, I know what you're thinking.
Judah, you did this now? You've been talking about your gameplay experiences and not actually what you love about the game. Come on, man.
I get it, but I'm getting to it now. I know this is a bigger video than what I usually upload, but really, if you have made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, let's actually talk about my love for Cuphead. The gameplay of Cuphead is just incredible. Despite its very high difficulty level, it's just amazing to play. Like I said before, the graphics are in the style of 1930s cartoons, and it's just so amazing and cool. Cuphead also has great controls. I never had much trouble maneuvering my character with my controller. It never felt awkward either. The only times it would really be awkward is if I messed up or pressed the wrong button, but that happens to all of us, right? Everything feels so smooth and well done. The bosses, the story, the levels, everything just makes this game a masterpiece. Also, the soundtrack of this game is so good. It's not like a regular video game soundtrack either. It's actual jazz, like 1930s jazz, and it's super catchy and it fits in super well. Christopher Madigan, great job. Chef's kiss. Mwah. The characters in this game are also incredible. They are perfectly designed for a 1930s cartoon, and they just fit in perfectly. They are so well made, And you can always have a favorite. You can always say, oh yeah, I like this guy. He's my favorite. Although I would have to say my personal favorite character is just plain old Cuphead himself. But King Dice is also super good too. What's your favorite Cuphead character? Leave it in the comments below. The Cuphead show is great too. I mean, a game inspired from 1930s cartoons has got to have a cartoon for itself, am I right? And trust me, it's actually really good. I've watched the first 2 seasons, and from what I've seen, I'm very happy with what they've done with the show. I think the characters' voice acting is really, really good. I think there are a lot of great Easter eggs in relations to the game. I just think the characters in general fit perfectly with what they're supposed to be. I think the show is excellent. The first season of that show is really, really good. The second one, not as much. I thought the second one was probably just okay overall. It had a few good episodes, but not many in my opinion. But that first season is just really, really good. They nailed it with that first season. So, to conclude, there you have it. Cuphead has not only been a love of mine since it came out, but it was also one of the greatest hurdles I have ever faced as a gamer. Through all of it though, from game to show, I will always love Cuphead from top to bottom. And I will always revisit Cuphead time and time again because of the special place it holds in my heart. Tell me guys, what do you think about Cuphead? Leave all of your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this was a longer upload, but if you made it all the way to the very end, thank you so much. And if you like what you see here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future content from me. I will see you guys in the next video. Capiche? Bang bang. Well, Cuphead and his pal Mugman, they like to roll the dice. By chance they came upon Devil's Game, and gosh, they paid the price. Paid the price. And now they're fighting for their lives on a mission fraught with dread. And if they proceed but don't succeed, well, the devil will take their heads